Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our La Liga career mode. We're back today with episode 5 and I'm not going to ramble for too long. Got loads to get through today as I want to make this the penultimate episode of season 1. So we're going to play out around 10 of our final 15 fixtures in La Liga as we're still going toe to toe with Barcelona and Real Madrid, who are our first opponents today. So without any further ado, let's just jump straight into things. It's our first trip to the Bernabeu in a massive title decider. Vamos Girona. Well, I said it's a title decider. I'm not sure I'd actually go that far. Of course, it's a huge game between two of the probably 5 teams that would consider themselves in with a chance of the title. But I'd say it's really ourselves, Real Madrid and Barcelona. And of course, if you give Real or Barcelona a lead, they're going to be so hard to catch. So if we do lose today, it's by no means over with still 15 games to play, including today. But as I say, if you give them a lead as underdogs, it's going to be very difficult to catch them. But I'd take a point today just to sort of keep us in the mix, but a loss would be absolutely catastrophic. And Real Madrid looking to create the first chance of the game. Joselu round the corner to Bellingham. It's brilliant. Well, we've just hit the hour mark as Trent gets forward down the right, and in true fashion this game's been really tight and cagey, and there's not really been many chances other than that Jude Bellingham opener, and now Toni Kroos looking to extend Real Madrid's advantage, and Joselu does just that. Always comes up with big goals, this man. We've seen it in real life in the Champions League this year. It's so difficult to stop when they come in from those wide positions. Squared across to Joselu, and the Spaniard makes it 2. And I think that will be enough for Real Madrid to see out a crucial 3 points in the race for the title. Well, that Joselu second was enough for Real Madrid. I just didn't create any clear-cut chances in that one. And it's been the problem in these bigger games against Real Madrid and Barcelona. But I have said we're overachieving this season. The objective was to finish in the top 4. And to be in a title race with Madrid and Barcelona is an overachievement. I don't mind losing to them at this stage of the save because we're just not quite at that level yet. Disappointing loss, but lessons to be learned. And that lesson is to know where you're at. Of course, this Girona side, we're building them. We're not quite there yet. But look at the table. We are still in the fight for the title despite that big loss. It's very tight. And our objective is just to make sure we finish in a Champions League spot. Tough game up next against Athletic Bilbao, who they themselves are looking to put a run together towards the end of the season to finish in a European spot. Need to bounce back here with a victory. Vamos Girona. Dovbyk, it's a brilliant ball, and Dovbyk angles tight and he gets his shot away. Chalobah into Garcia. Dovbyk back to the captain, and Garcia onto his right foot and turned away. Oh, fantastic by Inaki Williams. Swings across in. It's dangerous, and Tenyas has to get across to make the save on Guruteza. End-to-end game this, and chances at either end. It's given away by Viktor Zygankov. Trouble here as Sunset is slipped through, and Chalobah can't get back. And Bilbao break the deadlock. Poor from Viktor Zygankov, who's been one of our better players this season, but can't give the ball away in a dangerous position like that. Sunset races through. It's a lovely little assist through to him. And he absolutely smashes it past Tenyas as we look set for back-to-back defeats here. Still time, 24 minutes left to find an equaliser. Garcia swings the corner in, looking for Chalobah. Oh, Trevor Chalobah on his debut, the Chelsea loanee. Well, we brought him in on transfer deadline day as a bit of an emergency signing. It's a fantastic header. Unai Simon can't get that left hand up to it. And Chalobah picks out the top corner to find Girona's equalising goal. What a debut for Chalobah. And Trevor Chalobah's goal does rescue us a point, but it's not really the bounce back we were looking for after that loss to Real Madrid. We actually play before the Galacticos. They feature later tonight in the late kickoff. And we'll go and see how they get on in a Madrid derby as they take on Rayo Vallecano, as we're hoping that the underdogs can do us a massive favour. Well, we actually face Vallecano next in the league at the Montilivi. Let's see if they've done us a favour. It does seem as if, well, Real Madrid have played and they have dropped points, but so they drew with Sevilla. Atletico Madrid beat Las Palmas, but Barcelona starting to slip up a little bit, drawing with Celta Vigo. They both then drew 2-2 in their following fixtures, with Atletico Madrid winning to bring them back into it. We now have our game in hand, which could see us draw level on points with Barcelona and Real Madrid. This title race is going right down to the wire. Well, it's Rayo Vallecano now up next for us. I believe we actually lost in the return fixture in Madrid, but we're looking to make sure we get the victory here to keep pace with the front runners. Vamos, Girona. Oh, Dovbyk. Oh, what a chance. And it's just not falling for the big Ukrainian at the moment. Not scored in his last 2 games. And what an opportunity for him to open his account for today's episode there. Headed away, and Chavez will recycle to Savio, who's back in the lineup today. The Brazilian looks to trick his way into the area. Lovely skill. Dovbyk in the middle! Well, we may have missed the easier chance earlier on, but he's not missed that one. That is an absolute rocket. Savio back in the team, and I really would like to bring him back next season. I'm not sure if we're going to have the budget available to us, but he's been fantastic. I've got lots and lots of names on the shortlist for next year, but I really would like to bring back the Brazilian. A fantastic assist for Dovbyk, who breaks his mini goal drought, and Girona take the lead. Well, just talking about Savio and potential transfer targets, it all obviously depends on what our budget is for next year, but if we do manage to qualify for the Champions League, I hope that will give us a reasonable budget heading into Season 2, and there are a few positions that I'd like to recruit in. Of course, we're going to need a replacement for Savio if we can't bring him back. And there's quite a few of the young players, the likes of Alex Jimenez, Mateo Joseph, Solis, that I think I'd like to get out on loan next season, as they haven't really featured too much this campaign. And then I'd like to bring in some more strength in depth as Chavez tries his luck. As if we're going to be playing in the Champions League next year, we're going to need more quality in depth, as we've seen this season already being knocked out of the Cup after that disappointing defeat to Celta Vigo. Outside the starting 11, we've not got a huge amount of depth, and I'll maybe show you the shortlist at the end of the episode as to who we're potentially looking at for next year. I think a backup striker's needed. We're going to need a couple defenders to come in. Obviously, Couto's online. We're going to have no backup right back. So, yeah, I think all across the pitch, maybe not in midfield. We're pretty solid in midfield, but especially in defence and in attack, we're definitely going to need to recruit. El Hilali tripped, nothing given. Play on. Chalobah blocks the effort, but we are going to lose the clean sheet right at the death. I think it's Camelo who's finished it off, who is actually a transfer target of mine, having a really good season for a struggling Vallecano side. Not going to affect the outcome of the game, but you know how I love my clean sheets. Disappointed to throw it away right at the end. But it's the results that matter at this stage of the season. And Girona pick up a vital 3 points as we keep pace with those at the top of the table. Massive victory, and it's thanks to Dovbyk's goals that we pick up the 3 points here. Well, we are at the 1st of March, which means that we've got a scouting update, and we've got quite a lot of players that are at this similar sort of potential range of like sort of around low 70s and into the 90s. I think I'm just going to keep scouting them until we get to the final month, and then I'll make a decision when we get there, because some of them look like they could be decent, but I'm trying to be a little bit more selective with who I'm picking for the youth team. Yeah, unfortunately, still no one from Brazil or Ukraine really making the cut. This is how the youth academy's looking at the moment. Martins, unfortunately, has had a potential decrease down to 82 to 88, but he's still by far the best player that we've got in the academy. Montoya looks fantastic as well. I've now converted him to right wing, where he looks like he could be very good, potentially get loaned out next year. And again, lots of other decent players. Almeida, Carrasco looking very good. Ledesma with high potential as well. But in the summer, lots of these guys will get pro deals. I know that Martins is going to ask for one soon, being 18. But yeah, we'll try and loan out most of these guys next season to get some growth on them. So Mallorca up next for Girona, with an opportunity to go top of the league for the first time as we play before Barcelona and Real Madrid. Good news as well, as Ivan Martin and Arnau Martinez also both return to the bench after injury. Vamos Girona. So Mallorca currently down at the bottom of the table, fighting for their survival. So on paper, this should be an easier game for Girona, but we know that that's quite often not the way in career mode. And to be fair, they are down there scrapping for their safety in La Liga. So this would be a tough game in real life as well. As Herrera, Chavez, lovely flick. Savio bends it wide of the post. Costa down the left. Couto with some defending to do. His future uncertain with that loan from Man City coming to an end at the end of the season, and Tenyas now having to make the stop to keep us in the game. Sergi Dada whips the corner in, it's dangerous, and it's Dovbyk back on defensive duties who wins the header. But now Zigankov straight through the heart of the Mallorca defence. Brilliant run from Victor Zigankov, and he opens the scoring as well. End-to-end start to the game. Dovbyk wins the header in his own penalty area, and Zigankov just runs through the heart of that Mallorca defence. They can't get close to him. He scores once again in this fantastic season for the Ukrainian. It's been a bit like a basketball match, this one, end-to-end, but it's Girona who open the scoring. Oh, Couto ducked out the way, and Tenyas has to make the stop. Ball from Jan Couto, who did seem to duck out of the way of the header as Garcia hits the deck. I think he's getting back up, and Tenyas has to make the stop again. Mallorca have flown out of the blocks in this second half. Gutierrez to Savio, and now Dovbyk lifts it into the middle. Garcia arriving, what a save! Oh, and Zigankov squeezes it home. And just as Mallorca were pushing for that equaliser, the second comes for Girona. I'm not sure how Zigankov squeezes it home. It's a fantastic save by Rajkovic, but it's such a tight angle. And now that we've got our second, that should be enough to see us through with the 3 points. This has been a really hard-fought win, this. Yeah, really hard-fought victory, that one. We really had to fight for it. 2 goals from Victor Zigankov secure the points. The Ukrainians still coming up clutch for us. If it's not Dovbyk, it's Victor Zigankov. And it's another 3 points that will move us top of La Liga for the first time this season. Oh, well, we weren't top for very long, as Barcelona must have played just after us. And they also won, which means that they go top on the head-to-head record. Real Madrid yet to play, and a win for them will see them level up with us and Barcelona on 60 points. So keeping the games rolling, returning back home to the Estadio de Montilivi as we take on Osasuna. Vamos Girona. On an early chance. He just delayed, and it's still alive, and Tenyas forced into the save. Good start by Osasuna as they look to cause an upset here. Corner swung into the near post and Tenyas claims. And looks to get us forward quickly. Valeri, who's in from the off today. It's a good ball into Zigankov. And the Ukrainian keeps it in. Finds Alex Garcia with the Trivela. Not too far away. Swift counter-attack from Girona. And again, it's a basketball game at the Montalivi. Both sides with chances early on. Well, second half is underway here. 5 minutes into the second period. And after a pretty frantic opening few minutes. Oh, as Tenyas makes a great save. Where both teams were going for it. The game did quieten down, but the second half seems to have started in the same fashion. Important stop by Tenyas at his near post, and that'll fall behind for a goal kick. Dovbyk, great strength. Oh, opportunity this. Dovbyk. Still Dovbyk. Oh, great effort. Just using his strength and his power there, and turned away by Aitor. Garcia swings the corner in. It's Dovbyk again. Oh, it's pushed onto the post by the keeper as we still go in the hunt of that opening goal. Corner's dangerous. Headed on, and Osasuna find the opening goal. Deadlock broken. And it's gone to the away side. Well, that's pretty much going to do it. Chalobah nicks it back, but I don't think we've got time. There is the whistle. And Girona fall to defeat at the worst possible time. A shock defeat to mid-table Osasuna, who, to be fair, came here and gave us a really good game. We blanked up top. Dovbyk and Zigankov couldn't find the net. And that is a huge, huge loss for Girona, because I don't see Real Madrid and Barcelona slipping up between now and the end of the season. Well, interesting email here from Christian Stuani. Normally you get these emails and players say they want to be sold, but Stuani says he wants to go out on loan at the ripe old age of 37. Well, I'm hoping he's going to retire next season anyway, and I'll just be keeping him here against his will because I want him to retire at the club. So next game's a huge one against high-flying Getafe. Great season for them, sat in 8th and pushing for a European spot. That loss to Osasuna isn't too detrimental, as a win here will see us level up with Barcelona once again, who lost to Atletico Madrid. It's just crazy. Any of the 4 teams could win it. It's so tight as we enter the final 10 games of the season. Vamos, Girona. Well, really tough away day this to Getafe, and I've sort of reverted back to our early season team as the effort comes in and is turned away with Ivan Martin back in midfield and Arnau Martinez back at right back as well. The only real change is that Trevor Chalobah is in for Daley Blind. Oliver Torres, too much time and space. Out wide to the left-hand side. Here's Borja Mayoral. And it's fantastic by Yangel Herrera. Game's quite open at the moment. Dovbyk finds Martin. Oh, and he gets it through to Savio. Fantastic ball, and the Brazilian in behind had to finish. Torres out to Veltman. Nicely worked this by Getafe. Into Mayoral. Trouble here. Mayoral shoots. Oh, what a goal. Girona fall behind again. And maybe it's just too much of an ask for us this season to go all the way with Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico. What a strike from Borja Mayoral. Thought I'd done enough and stood him up. But that's why he was on my shortlist in the summer. Fantastic strike from the Spaniard. Well, the only good thing is that we've got enough time to rescue ourselves here. The goal that Osasuna scored came pretty late. Didn't give us much time, and the clock is in our favour here. Just need to get some attacking rhythm in our game, which we've not really had over the last few. Chance here though. Martin through the gap. Zigankov, fantastic save, and it won't come back to him. Maybe could have tried to lift it. Be a chance here. Dovbyk releases Savio down the left. And the Brazilian holds it up nicely and wins the free kick. That's an awful tackle. That is Savio's last involvement as well, as we've made some changes. Suslov will swing the free kick in. It's dangerous. It's Dovbyk! And there is the equalising goal. Picks up the ball though, as we need another. Suslov, first involvement on the pitch, is to pick up an assist. Fantastic delivery into the middle. And Dovbyk towers above his man to head us level. And Chavez wins it back. And now Girona potentially with a chance to win it, as Dovbyk looks to send through Mateo. Great hold up. And Dovbyk lets fly and Soraya turns it away. Last chance from the corner. Garcia whips it in. It's into Chalobah, who just gets too much on the header. That will do it. It's another game without a victory for Girona. Dovbyk's goal enough to rescue a point. But it's just 1 point from our from our last 6 available. And when you're chasing down Barcelona and Real Madrid, that form is just not good enough. Getafe a worthy opponent and deserve their point, but if we're to win the title this season, we have to be winning these games. So, final game of March here as we take on Real Betis. Tricky game, and Barcelona have already played and won, which means that they move 5 clear of us, although we do have the game in hand. We need to win here. Nothing but a win is good enough. Vamos, Girona. So our form's starting to dip at the worst possible time, but I think we need to have a little bit of perspective. We are still overperforming, as Valeri, given the chance today, denied by the keeper. You know, I didn't expect us to be in a title race, and it is great to be there, and you know, we learn from this, we build on it. And hopefully it'll put us in better stead when we are ready to compete with Barcelona and Real Madrid. But for the time being, it's great to be competing. But I've said the whole season, I just don't think we're ready yet. Well, this game still tied at 0-0 into the second half. And we've just not been able to create much going forward. We've not had much fluidity. But there could be a chance here as Gutierrez drives forward. Zigankov! There's our goal. 10 minutes into the second half, and it's Viktor Zigankov. No surprises there, because he's been our main man in this run-in. Dovbyk's been a little bit quiet, and Zigankov has picked up the reins, but it's fantastic from Gutierrez down the left. Waits till he's got an option, picks out Zigankov, and Viktor picks out the corner. 1-0 to Girona, exactly what we needed. Oh, fantastic Yangel. Not so fantastic. Given away. No. Avia's in behind. Chimmy Avia levels it in the last minute. Given away by Herrera in midfield. And that's just the inexperience of this team. Avia races through, and he was never going to miss. And that will do it. That is probably title over for Girona, and we've thrown it away right at the end. We couldn't grind out the victory, and I think that might just be it for our title hopes. Ah, man, that one is so frustrating because it's completely my fault trying to overplay. There's now just 1 win in our last 4 and just 2 in our last 7, as we seem to be completely stumbling when it matters most. We are still in the title race, I would say, just 4 points behind Barcelona. We still have to play them, of course, and we also have Atletico coming up next in a huge 6-pointer. Top 4 is now pretty much secured with a 9-point gap ahead of Real Sociedad. But I think the title is going to be just too much to ask in this first season. So some real tough games in there. But before we do get to that, we've got our final month's worth of scouting, where I think I'm going to offer some of these guys some scholarships, because we've got some really good looking players in here. It is mainly these Spaniards that are looking decent. I think Cortez, we've got better options. Going to offer out quite a few scholarships here, as this is the final month. So Lucas Castro, Victor Villalba, Adrian Navarro, Inaki Flores, Iago Aguirre, and Bryce Vergara all getting deals. I still think Santiago Montoya is our best prospect. We've got a lot of new players added in here, so I'm going to put all of these new guys on development plans. A lot of them, their potential ranges are quite high at the moment, or it's quite a big range. You can see like 71 to 91, 75, 77 to 91. So we'll see how they develop over the summer, and then we may potentially release some of them heading into next season if the potential doesn't live up to what we were hoping. So we'll play out all 3 games in April to close out today's episode, starting with our trip to the Metropolitano. I would take a point in this one, but all 3 would be massive. Vamos, Girona. Still the Brazilian. Gutierrez. Chance to swing the cross in. It's brilliant. Zigankov! Oblak gets something on it, but can't keep it out. It's an old-fashioned cross into the middle. And Viktor Zygankov, who's been our man of the moment, heads in from close range. Oblak can't keep it out. It's too close to him. And Atletico Madrid fall behind to Girona as they did at the Estadio de Montilivi. Huge, huge goal in the title race. I have a feeling we might be able to clinch this if we're clinical on the break. Valeri should have the pace to get in behind. Pulled across, and it's just behind Suslov, and that's a penalty. As Oblak comes flying out, and Christian Stuani goes down. I think he might have got a bit of the ball, but it's through the back of Christian Stuani. And the veterans won as a penalty. Yeah, it is a pen. And it will be Stuani himself to step up. And Stuani makes it 2. And that will surely do it. Huge victory for Girona. Christian Stuani seals it off the bench. But that is massive. It means we've completed the double over Atleti. And with how close it is, there's every chance that it comes down to the head-to-head record. Massive, massive win for Girona, and we do keep our slim title chances alive. Right, on to the next one then. It's Cadiz at home in what should be a banker, and we need to make sure that we pick up all 3 points. Vamos, Girona. Yeah, I mean, it really is no good going to the Metropolitano and winning if you then can't beat Cadiz at home in your next game. No disrespect to Cadiz, but these are the games that we just simply have to be winning, and it should be a banker, but we know that there are no bankers in football. It's a nice early build-up, and it's worked out to Savio, and now Gutierrez on the overlap. Swings across in, it's dangerous, it's Dovbik, and it's an early goal for Girona, just what we needed. Well, the sooner we can get a second goal in this game, the better. Wrap it up as early as we can, and there could be a chance to here. It's a brilliant ball. Savio, lovely feet, and the Brazilian, it's off the bar, and Zigankov, what a finish. Smashes it in on the rebound. That's not an easy finish. Had bodies in front of him, it's on the bounce, and Viktor Zygankov continues his fantastic form. Zigankov, oh, it's brilliant. Zigankov, oh! He is just playing out of this world at the moment. Viktor Zygankov. That will most certainly secure the 3 points, and in style as well. What a goal from our Ukrainian. Well, just the result that Girona needed today, and what a way to get it as well. That was stylish from Girona. Massive, massive win, and we keep our title dreams going as we're looking ahead to that massive clash against Barcelona to come soon. We've got one more game before we get there as we take on Las Palmas away from home to close out the episode. So just jumping straight into this one as we travel to the Canary Islands. Hoping for another convincing victory as we saw in that previous game against Cadiz. Same starting 11 as that game, and I'm hoping for the same result. Vamos, Girona. Well, rather frustratingly, still deadlocked at 0-0 here. And after that fantastic win in the previous game against Cadiz, I was hoping we were going to have an easy victory, but Las Palmas are making it anything but easy for us. They've been fantastic. I can barely get the ball off them, and when I do, I haven't been able to penetrate their defence. Really, really tough game, but we just got to keep grinding it out and wait for our moment. Well, nothing's come off for us today going forward. It's just been one of those days. Garcia gets it into Dovbyk, and it's Dovbyk again, and now Savio. That's a good ball into Martin. Back to the Brazilian. Big opportunity this. And Savio takes his time. Rolls it across to Dovbyk. And we've had to be patient. But there is our goal. Well, there's the whistle. And it's a big one for Girona. We had to really grind that out. A 1-0 victory away in the Canary Islands. Thanks to Artem Dovbyk. Really, really hard game that. Las Palmas right down fighting for relegation or survival, and that was a real tough game. We had to grind it out and we get the win. That's the most important thing at this stage of the season. Results are all that matters. Well, that is where we will leave it for today's episode, guys, and just look how close it is between the top four. Absolutely crazy with 5 games to go, and our biggest game of the season to come next as we host Barcelona at the Montilivi. That is a huge game and could be winner takes all. Just 5 games left to play in our first season with Girona. We know that Champions League is pretty much secured now, but are we going to be champions of La Liga? I'll catch you for the next episode very soon, guys. You don't want to miss it, and peace.